Yeah, Coach, I want to get your takeaways from the scrimmage on Saturday, and I guess anything that's been applied from everything that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy with some of the things that we did out there on Saturday. Certainly, I like the way our running backs are running the football. Our quarterbacks did a good job on decision making and distributing the ball through very, very high percentage. We missed a few things in the run game as far as our technique and our assignments by the offensive line. I would have wished we would have been cleaner. The running back made up for him a little bit in our run game. Pass protection-wise, I thought we had a very good day in the scrimmage, but I think we need to just be more consistent in the run game than we were. We had some receivers make plays, so overall I thought it was a good scrimmage.
I mean, who are the go-to receivers? You got so many options out there. Like, have you started paring things down a little bit more?
It'll probably this week, start working itself out a little bit more. So you go into some situation work this week and game plan stuff, and still go ones versus ones, so you get that competition. But Monte still had another big game, had our big day out there, made a lot of catches, did a good job of running routes, ran after the catch. So I was happy with him. CJ had a big touchdown for us and run after the catch, which was great to see, something that we're, really looking for. Jay Brown had a big day. I thought he felt good about it. He looked fast out there. And the thing about him is he is fast, so as long as he knows exactly what he's doing, he's going to play like that. And that was what was good to see, is that he wasn't hesitating. He really looked like he knew the offense better and made plays. Megan Blake had kind of a tough day as far as getting balls thrown to him. It just didn't work out. When you called the play for him, the progression took us somewhere else, and I'd have liked to seen him get more opportunities to catch the ball, but he just didn't get them done.
What stood out from Taylon's performance specifically when, in the moment, and then going back and looking at the film, what did you see from him under center?
Yeah, the best thing I saw from Taylon was his technique on his release. It was the best day he's had on getting up and over the top, and his accuracy was way up. He threw the ball a couple times before the receiver broke on their route, so his timing was really good. I thought it was a huge step forward for him. Didn't have the same yards, same touchdowns he had in the first scrimmage, but his performance was much more consistent and in throwing the ball and accuracy.
It seems like, every time Taylon gets up here, he talks about y'all's relationship and how much you work with him and the things you guys need to improve with him. I mean, the season's now 2 weeks away. Do you feel like Taylon is where you want him to be heading into the season? Technique, knowledge of the offense, everything like that?
He's getting closer. No one's ever where you want him to be, but he's certainly getting closer. And that's the thing that was most exciting for me watching the tape after the scrimmage and grading it with him, was seeing how much he improved from 1 week to the next on the consistency. It's not like he doesn't have good technique. It's just at times he's not consistent enough with it. But his release in the scrimmage on Saturday was closer to where we want.
Sam said that in both scrimmages, Amarian and Shaq have kind of rotated at right tackle with the first team. Is that a competition you can see extending maybe into the first couple weeks of the regular season, or would you want to have that settled before Alabama A&M?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be settled before the Alabama A&M game. I think he has all the experience. He also has the ability to play other positions on the offensive line, so we're still rotating. Some of that is a thought that, who would move where if somebody went down. But the two of them have been doing a good job. Shaq isn't quite where he was at the end of spring last year. Some of that has to do with the heat. Some of that has to do with the longer, tougher, harder practices and being young and learning how to be mentally tough. Physically he's a tough guy, but you got to be able to play full speed and concentrate and focus on every single play when you're tired and it's 100 degrees out. So he's got a little bit to learn there.
You had Malachi clearly prepared for his moments last year. How do you feel about KJ maybe if he has to fill that same role?
Yeah, getting a lot more comfortable with him and really starting to understand, what the package will be for him and not only in the pass game but the run game. I think KJ's took huge steps forward since spring ball. He's a really, really intelligent young man, so he knows the offense. He's the one that wants to answer the question first in every meeting. It's just continue to learning what he does well, what he doesn't do well. We'll keep working on what he doesn't do well, but we've got to have the package ready and know exactly what we would go to if he had to jump in the game.
Apparently Platt had a pretty good day too, so could you speak to maybe his rise and then what the tight end position is looking like?
Yeah, I thought all three tight ends had big days for us when you talk about catches and throwing it and different plays. Platt looked like that guy that's 6'6", 265 and can run and catch the ball in his hands. He made a lot of really good plays for us. Rohan had a nice play down the field. We needed to get him more opportunities, a little bit like Blake. So we come back and practice the next day, and both of them had really good practices, so that was good to see. And Andreas understands the offense way better than a year ago. He's playing fast and physical. I think the combination of those three guys, because you can put the two big guys in and block. You can put the Platt and Rohan in together and have speed down the field, and I felt good about it.
And then, so I asked Marcus Woodson about the assistant coaches coming through here and all of the assistants talking to us. It seemed like you did that when you were head coach. What's the benefit in that? And it seems like you've enjoyed when you've come in here and talked to us. Is it more something you like to do?
Something I like to, yeah, man, it's right up there, number one. No. No, I'm just joking around. I have a good time with it. I love to hear the questions that you're going to ask and understand, what y'all are hearing out there. And some of it's true, some of it's way off. But it's just I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I really, what I really enjoy the most is the meeting room with the quarterbacks, because when we're in that meeting room, the time goes by like that, and you're out on the practice field, and that's a good group in there. They're good young men and very, very motivated and very dedicated. They put a lot of time in themselves without me in there, particularly with this new gadget that they got.
Coach, last year, I know your goal is to win the game, but last year against UAPB, you got to get Malachi and KJ some work at quarterback in that game. How beneficial do you think it would be to get KJ and maybe one of the others some work against Alabama? And if it worked out that way, because when Malachi came in against Tennessee, it wasn't, like deer in the headlights his first time or something. You feel like it would be beneficial if you could get KJ some work?
Yeah, the way I've always looked at these games is that we have to be mature enough to understand that we need to go out and execute and score points and work to score every single time we have the ball and allow our depth to get into the game. And that's how you develop. Like you said, with Malachi last year, he's out on the field. I knew exactly what we were going to do with him, and he executed and did a good job. And it certainly gave him confidence the next time that he jogged out on the field. But that's up to our players to be mature enough and prepare themselves well enough and really approach the game like it doesn't matter who we're playing, it matters how we play, and we have to take care of ourselves.
Mike Washington's really taken hold at running back. Do you feel pretty good about Braylon, Rodney Hill, and those guys behind him or with him?
Yeah, I really do. I think he's been a great influence on them. First on Braylon. Braylon's practicing harder and more physical, and Coach Smith has him doing a great job of running with his pads down and exploding up through it. So I think the emphasis on that has really helped him. Rodney's a speed guy too, so he's a threat, running with the ball outside, screen game, throwing the ball to him down the field. He's a really good option route runner. We're going to need option routes on third down situations. So I feel like we got a good handle on those three guys.